Yes. I think the biggest lie I told myself during this entire pandemic is that I was going to be done buying guns for a while. And you see how long that lasted. Well, I kind of had that idea for a while that I was just going to save all my money and not buy guns, but then I realized how much money I wasn't spending on everything else that I normally spend money on because I can't go anywhere, can't eat out, and gas is super cheap. And then the government decided that they were going to send me $1,200. So eventually I just figured, what the hell, I will take advantage of some good deals and support some local businesses. So I ended up on Saturday picking up 4 guns, and I bought them all at different times from different places, but they all came in and I picked them up from the same gun shop. And let's just kind of go over what all I got. So the first gun that I decided I was going to buy, and that was with my stimulus check, was I wanted a Ruger 1022 for squirrel hunting. And I wanted to set it up exactly like I set up my girlfriend's for Christmas, so that we can kind of have our own rifle with just the same setup. So I decided I liked stainless steel. So I ordered this particular model. I think this is model 1273. I think that's the actual model number. It's a distributor exclusives from Lipsy's, I think, and stainless steel and a gray and brown laminate stock, and it also has laser etching on the receiver for the markings. It still has your standard stamped markings on the barrel, but it's a pretty nice 1022. Ordered it brand new, and it was $355 plus tax. So not too bad for a brand new 1022, which is, I think, a very gorgeous 1022. Put about 20 rounds through it over the weekend, and it's a nice little shooter. Gonna get a scope and a see-through mount and everything, and get it all set up in a little bit later. But we'll set it up for squirrel hunting. Next, I decided it's been a long time since I had a small concealed carry pistol. One that would be easy to conceal. I have a lot of full-size pistols, but I wanted something that I could conceal carry in the summertime a little more easy, and I'm a little picky. I'm kind of old school. I'm not a big fan of most of your polymer pistols these days. I like a few, but I really like steel or aluminum framed guns, and I was always fond of these Kahr K9s and the MK9s, but the K9s really, I think they're just kind of the perfect size. And I found this K9. This is used, of course. They have 7-round magazines and just single stack. But Kahr is a very good, high quality pistol maker, and I always loved the K9. So I found this one for $475, and I thought that was a pretty good deal because brand new you get these for like $600 plus. And this one actually does have night sights. They're old and dim, but they do still glow. So $475 for a good Kahr K9, and it did come with a case and 2 magazines and the original paperwork. So I thought that was pretty good. We're gonna do videos on all these guns. They're all gonna have their own reviews and other videos. So we'll talk more about them in their own videos. Another gun I found a pretty good deal on is this Ruger Security 6, and I've always wanted a Security 6. The Security 6 is my favorite all-time double action revolver design, and they haven't made them since the 80s, and I always loved them. And anytime that I would find a good deal on one, I didn't have the money, and anytime I had the money, there wasn't a good deal on one, and I would just go with something else. But I found this one for $449, and it does have, it has one issue, and that is the front sight. It looks like it was dropped. It is kind of dented, but it's also kind of loose. it was dropped on the barrel or something, and something broke in here. It is secure, but it is loose, and I'm pretty sure that it's not supposed to wiggle like that. It does still shoot pretty accurately. Me and my girlfriend, we were able to shoot some shotgun shells, empty shotgun shells with this over the weekend, so it doesn't really affect it, but I want to get a new sight on there, and I did find a company that does make blanks, blank sight inserts, and they said that they would, for the extra money, of course, shape the sight, and so all I would have to do is have a gun shop fit it to the gun. So we're probably going to go that route, and eventually we'll get a new sight on there. But the rest of the gun is pretty, it's not too bad. It does have a little bit of rust here and there, which I will take this gun apart and clean it and get the rust off of it, and soak it in oil. And it does have these rubber grips. I'm guessing these are Pachmeyers, or Pachmeyer knockoffs anyway. The only other thing I don't like about this gun is the grips, and not so much that I don't like the look of the grips. I do prefer wood, but there is a seam here because it's two pieces, and there's a seam here, and it's really sharp. And I noticed this when I was shooting it, that your middle finger rides right under that seam, where it kind of overlaps, and every time you shoot, it kind of it almost feels like a knife cutting you. So I don't know, I might either get some wood grips if I can find them, or I'll try to just trim this down a little bit so it's not so sharp on my finger. And the last gun that I decided I was going to get is this gun right here. Now this one is very interesting. This is a Western Field 550B. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a Mossberg 500 that was sold by Montgomery Ward back in the day. Is Montgomery Ward even a thing anymore? I'm not sure. I don't think they ever had them around where I live anyway. But, I guess it could be a thing. Basically, this is an old Mossberg 500, and it's in 16 gauge. Now, why would I buy one in 16 gauge? Well, we'll have to save that for the actual video, but I found this 16 gauge shotgun for $280 from Wild West Guns in Alaska. If you don't know who Wild West Guns is, they basically take Marlin 1895s and they completely, give them a complete makeover, and they make them these really awesome co-pilot rifles and Alaskan guide guns, and they have several different configurations, but they're really, really nice Marlin 1895s, and they're really, really expensive. But they also do a lot of buy, sell, and trade on Gunbroker, and this is just one example, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It has a jeweled bolt, and the lifter is actually jeweled as well. It has a metal safety selector, and I don't think, well, this might be metal too. It's kind of hard to tell. It might have an aluminum trigger housing, but it's a little hard to tell. But it also only has one action bar, which that's one way you can tell that it was made in the 60s, and it does not have a serial number anywhere on this gun. And that tells you that it is at least older than 1968, because 1968 is when they started requiring serial numbers on shotguns, and I'm not really sure if rifles and handguns fell in the same laws as shotguns, so I'm not really sure how all that works, but at least shotguns up until 1968 did not require a serial number, so this one does not have one. And of course it has this painted wood stock set, which is actually pretty nice in my opinion. My favorite color is green, so I don't mind it. And it has the old corncob style forend, which I also like. So, and it has these sights. It's more of a deer hunting shotgun, but I would prefer a bead sight. But this is like the only it was like the only 16 gauge model 500 style shotgun on Gunbroker, and they're not very easy to come by, so I decided, what the hell, I'll buy it up. Anyway, those are the 4 guns that I picked up over the weekend. I shot 3 of the 4 of them. I didn't take any 9mm out with me. I don't know why, but maybe next weekend I'll take out some 9mm and test out that Kahr. So anyway, stay tuned for videos on each of these 4 guns, and we'll talk about them in greater detail. So subscribe to my channel, like me on Facebook. I'm Redneck Mini 14, and until next time, be safe.